Hey everyone, this is Isaac and welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the shape tool in Photoshop. Let's get started. You will find your shape tool on the left of the screen in your toolbar. Right-clicking it, you will see all the shape tools you have. You have the rectangle tool, ellipse tool, triangle tool, polygon tool, line tool, and the custom shape tool. Let's go through each one of them. The first tool we have is the rectangle tool. Up here, you have your options for the rectangle tool, where you can decide how you want your rectangle to look. The first thing you can choose is your fill and stroke. I'm going to choose a red fill and a green stroke. And here you can choose how thick you want your stroke to be. I'm going to put it as 8 pixels. Here you can choose the type of your stroke. You have a full line, a dotted line, and an even more dotted line. I'm going to choose this one. Here you can choose the size of your rectangle. If you want more options on creating your rectangle, click on the screen. And here you can choose the width and height. I'm going to put the width as 250 pixels and the height as 150 pixels. Here you can choose how rounded you want your corners to be. And here you can link all the corners together. If I unclick this, as you can see, now I can adjust the corners each on their own. And the last option you have is the From Center button. This means that the rectangle will be drawn from the point where you clicked. I'm going to enable that. When you press OK, as you can see, a rectangle is created. Your shapes are created as vectors. That means that you can scale them up how much you want. If you decide that you don't want your corners to be rounded, grab this circle and pull it away. If you want to change your fill or stroke, you can always do that here. The next shape tool we have is the ellipse tool. This tool helps you create circular shapes. The settings are the same as on the rectangle tool. When you want to create your shape, click on the screen and you can choose the width and height. I'm going to create a symmetrical circle. If you want even more control over creating your shapes, instead of clicking on the screen, you can always drag your mouse. And as you saw, because I had the From Center option turned on, the shape was being created from the point where I originally clicked. To turn it off, click and just turn it off. And now, when I go to create an object, turn it off and press OK. We can delete the new object, and then when I go to create a new circle, when I drag, it's following my mouse. The next tool we have is the triangle tool. Again, the settings for all of these shapes are the same. When I click to create a triangle, I can choose the width, the height, and if I want the triangle to be equilateral, which means the triangle size will be all the same size. And again, I can choose from center, or if I want to corner the radius. I'm going to put it as 25. For now, I'm going to create a triangle that doesn't have cornered edges. If I uncheck this box, and if I put the width to 200 and the height to 600, and if I put the corner radius to 50, you can see what each setting did to the triangle. And again, if you don't like the settings you made, you can always change them after. The next tool we have is the polygon tool. Again, you can choose the width, height, if you want the size to be symmetrical, the number of sides, the corner radius, the star ratio. Now, you're already very familiar with what each setting will do, but let me go over them. So let me set the width and height to 200. I'll keep the symmetric on, I'll put the number of sides to 5, and for now I'm going to leave the corner radius to 0 and the star ratio to 100%. And there we have a pentagon. Now let's change it up a bit. I'm going to untick the symmetric button and I'm going to put two different sizes. I'm going to put the number of sides to 7, the corner radius to 20, and the star ratio to 20. You can also choose if you want your star indents to be smooth or not. Let me untick smooth for now. And as you can see, I created a star with 7 indents. Let me show you how it looks when it's smooth. The next tool we have is the line tool, which as you can guess, lets you create lines. Again, you can choose if you want your line to be full, dotted, or even more dotted. The last tool we have is the custom shape tool, which up here you can decide which shape you want to create. You have wild animals, leaf trees, boats, or even flowers. Let's create a wild animal. Let's create a camel. When I click on the screen, I can choose how big I want it to be, if I want it to come from the center, and if I want it to preserve proportions. I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it as 300 pixels. And that's it for this video. If you found this video useful, subscribe for more tutorials like this one. Check the description below for the links of all my socials, and if you have any questions or future video requests, leave them down in the comments below.